You're using artificial intelligence right now, and you might not even realize it. It's this invisible engine that's shaping just about everything, from your movie queue to major medical breakthroughs. But what is it really? And why does it feel like it just exploded into our world overnight? So let's decode. Okay, let's start with something you probably use every single day, your email. Ever wonder how it just knows that an email promising you a royal inheritance is total junk, but a note from your boss is super important? It almost feels like magic, right? But how does it actually work?
Well, the answer isn't some team of people secretly reading your mail. Nope. It's an algorithm, a form of AI that has been trained on billions, and I mean billions, of emails to spot all the little telltale signs of spam. And believe me, that is just the tip of the iceberg.
The truth is, AI is already completely woven into the fabric of our daily lives, a lot of times in ways we don't even notice. But once you start looking for it, you start to see it absolutely everywhere. I mean, just think about it. That movie Netflix just recommended for you? That's AI analyzing your viewing habits. That friend Facebook suggested you tag in a photo? Yep, AI facial recognition. It's the engine that filters out hate speech online. It's the brain that understands your commands to Siri and Alexa. And it's the co-pilot that helps a Tesla drive itself. And get this, it's even helping doctors diagnose rare diseases by spotting patterns in medical records faster than any human possibly could. It really, really is everywhere. So, okay, we know it's all around us. But that brings up a pretty fundamental question. What is artificial intelligence anyway? The term itself isn't new at all. It was actually coined way back in 1956 by a computer scientist named John McCarthy, and his definition was simple: the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. What's so amazing about that simple phrase is just how ambitious it is, to build machines that can do things we once thought only humans could do.
And that is the real kicker, isn't it? How do you even begin to program intelligence? How do you get a machine to see, to reason, and to make decisions on its own without a person having to write a rule for every single possible scenario?
The key, the big breakthrough, is a field inside AI called machine learning. And this is a fundamental shift in how we think about programming. Instead of writing endless lines of code with explicit rules, we create algorithms that can actually learn from data. We just feed them tons of examples, and they start to figure out the patterns and the rules all by themselves, getting better and better over time. Kind of like how we learn. Now, if the term AI has been around since the 50s, why is it exploding right now? Why does it suddenly feel like we're living through an AI revolution? I mean, the ideas have been percolating for decades. Alan Turing was already talking about thinking machines back in 1950. And we had these huge milestones, right? Like when IBM's Deep Blue beat the world chess champion in '97, or when Watson won Jeopardy in 2011. These were amazing feats, but they were sort of isolated moments. So what changed? Well, it was basically the perfect storm of three key things coming together. First, an unbelievable amount of data. We now generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every single day. That data is the fuel for machine learning. Second, we got a ton more computing power. The same graphics cards or GPUs that make your video games look so incredibly real, turns out they're perfect for the heavy-duty math AI needs. And third, we just got better algorithms. We developed these much more sophisticated learning models called neural networks, which are loosely inspired by the human brain. So more data, more power, and smarter techniques, that's what created the AI boom we're seeing today. Okay, so machines learn from data. We got that. But how exactly does that learning process work? Well, it really breaks down into three main methods. First up, there's supervised learning. The easiest way to think of this is like teaching a kid with flashcards. You show the AI thousands of photos that are labeled cat and thousands more labeled dog. Eventually, it learns to connect the right image to the right label. Then you have its opposite, unsupervised learning. This is more like giving that kid a giant messy pile of Legos and just saying, sort this. There are no labels. The AI has to find the patterns all on its own, grouping the bricks by color, by shape, whatever. It's fantastic for finding hidden structures in huge amounts of data. And the third type is reinforcement learning. The best analogy here is basically training a pet. You put an AI agent into an environment, like a video game. It learns by just trying things. Good actions, like getting to the next level, get a reward. Bad actions, like crashing into a wall, get a penalty. After millions and millions of rounds of trial and error, it figures out the absolute best strategy to get the most rewards. This is the magic behind AIs that can master incredibly complex games or even learn to control robotic arms. So, with all of this amazing progress, where are we heading? It's really helpful to think about AI development in three distinct stages.
Okay, this is really crucial to understand. Everything we have talked about so far, from Siri to self-driving cars to spam filters, it all falls into just one category. Artificial Narrow Intelligence, or ANI. Sometimes it's called weak AI. It can be incredibly powerful, but only at one specific job. The next stage, which is still totally hypothetical, is Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. That would be an AI with human-level reasoning and creativity. And then way out there is Artificial Superintelligence, an intellect that would be far beyond our own. But for now, that last one is pretty much just science fiction.
Right now, we are living in the very first chapter of the AI story, the age of narrow or weak AI. And even in this very early stage, it's already reshaping our world at a mind-blowing pace. Which leaves us with a final fascinating question to think about. What will our world look like when, or even if, our AI is no longer narrow, but becomes truly strong?